All right, we're going to try this again, going live again on Facebook and on Instagram. You guys, welcome to my page. If the feed doesn't really work again on yep, if I lose my feed on Facebook, I may just stick to Instagram. So we'll figure out what's going on there. I realize that I can't hear myself right now. Apologies. Test one, two, three. Instagram and you can hear me. Let me know. And if all right, there we go. Hey, Joy, thank you for letting me know. Hey, Pamela DeBritt, how's it going? Is it Pamela DeBritt? Yep. Nice to see you. And if you're here on Facebook, nice to see you too. Today, folks, we are talking about unlocking your creative genius. Um, we're just going to do a quick deep dive. I'm gonna have to make it quick because I actually have to make a trip over to Hilo for a agri ability conference for um, basically I'm a mental health first aid practitioner and we have a big conference going on over there. So I have to get going. But all that said, I want to do this quick live to, I don't know, help unlock your creative genius. So here we go. So, as a creative, as a founder of an organization, of a leader of a community, whatever it is that you have going on as a leader, we might find ourselves struggling with the demands of our role. High pressure situations, deadlines coming in, wanting to appear as though you know what you're doing and know what you're talking about. These little struggles that appear to us every day, they're actually these things are actually representing it's mirroring our own state of consciousness. And um, I know that might be a hard thing to hear, and I know it's a hard thing to hear because I was on a call with one of my clients yesterday, who, while we were on our call, he found himself in a situation based on a text message that he had received, and he wanted to stop what we were doing there on that call, jump right into handling and putting out the fire that was at hand, the quote unquote fire that was at hand. But in conversation, we come to find out that there was no hurrying that needed to happen. There was nothing that he needed to do at that now moment but to be someone. And as we dove in, we discovered who he was being that would have even created the situation in the first place, the way he was looking at the situation, the immediate meaning that he was making, and the assumptions that he was making. And one would think it's like, oh, it's the assumptions that you have about somebody else. But it turned out it was the assumptions he was having of him, his own self. He had this belief that if the communication that was going on with his colleague wasn't handled right then and there, it meant that he was lacking. Literally, that's what came up. He came to discover that what was occurring was his own lacking in that moment. And so he felt the need in that moment to go fix it. And as we were sitting together, we realized there was nothing to fix. There was nothing wrong. It was his assumption that something was wrong. And then when we really got into it, we excuse me, we came to discuss the whole idea that there's actually only one power, one wisdom at play that is forever residing in each and every one of us. And this power, call it what you will, I call it God, is within you. And it's your refusal to recognize it that has the outside world look treacherous, look um, like there's problems at play. And as long as you keep viewing the world in a sense of there's a problem at hand, I need to fix this. This is wrong. This is bad, and we'll get into good in a second. But if you're coming at any situation, any circumstance with that in mind, you're only going to create more of that state of consciousness. So what we had, my client, I almost said his name. He doesn't want me to name him. But when I was helping him out or walking him through this, he himself, I didn't do anything. I was just able to help show him what state of consciousness he was in and how the action he was going to take is actually it actually implied the old version of himself, the actual version of himself he doesn't actually want to play anymore. He wanted to play a more peaceful, loving, understanding CEO, CEO of his company. And I asked him, "Was like, well, what action would you have taken had I not caught you in that moment?" And he's like, "Oh man, I would have gone off on her." And I was like, "Exactly, because of the state that you're in." And of course, we dove into it. We did some other things. We really dove in on what was going on. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't really matter what your circumstance is. I'm specifically speaking to founders and creatives and this and the other. But whether it's your romantic relationship or your health or just your personal finances, business finances, any type of data you bring to me, I recognize that that's not actually the problem. And in fact, there is no problem. It's your assumption that there is a problem that creates the problem. So if we start recognizing that this ever present fulfillment, the power and wisdom of God actually resides in you, and nothing out here can harm you, you can walk in a lack of fear. There's no fear there because you know who you are in your relationship to I am. So whatever it is that you got going on, that high pressure situation, that deadline is coming up, um, you what's going on? What's going on with them? Yeah, deadlines. What else was going on with it? Health, whatever it is. Remember, good, bad, or indifferent. The meaning that you are making, the meaning that you are creating, doesn't go back to the past. It doesn't revert to the past. All that dwelling and ruminating, it doesn't go back to the past. It proceeds, it goes to the future, and you physically will go to meet up with it. As scripture says, I go to prepare a place for you. So every time you speak a word, every time you attach an idea to a feeling, that seed is planted and goes to the future. And if you can learn that and you can truly understand this and truly learn how to shift between your old version of yourself and the higher version of yourself, you man, you make quantum leaps. You make huge shifts. But we struggle with these things. I struggle with them all the time. You wanted a job but couldn't. I'm not. Are you saying I or you? um. Oh, I. Okay. So yeah, I can't really stay on to answer questions because I'm like 15 minutes late. But Anir, can I pronounce your name? Anirud. I think it's Anirudra. 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 Anyways, sir, if you will, you can send me a DM, send me a DM or a message, and we can see and talk about that. But the end of the day, it's your refusal to believe that you have that power within you to create the type of world that you want. You are believing in the external circumstances over the realm of infinite possibilities that's within you. Andia. Um, you have a belief in external powers. So you believe that it is that job when in fact it's you. Hey, what's good? How are you, Tony? Anyways, so back to the lecture at hand. Whatever it is that you are looking for, whatever it is that you are seeking, chasing after it, having to get it, going to grab it, forcing it to change, getting them to like you, getting them to hire you, all those things are coming from a state of consciousness of lack. And people, whether they know it or not, can sense it from you because everybody is playing their part to perfectly match your state of consciousness. And as your refusal to believe that, that makes it so. So, if you want to make a change in your organization, in the way you move and act in the world, in the way other people are showing up for you, it would behoove you to understand this one key point. This one key point says, what you say is true about you, what you truly believe about you on the inside, has to be reflected on the outside. And in fact, your true self, your true being is infinite. It's powerful. It is abundant. It does know. It is intelligent. It's the filter you put in front of that light, in front of that truth that creates this outside world. So, if you want to dive deeper, if you want to know more, if you want my help in understanding these principles and helping shift from one state of consciousness to another, go ahead and send me a DM or join me over there in Imaginarium and let's get to talking. Let's see how I can help shift your outlook on your business and your creative works. You guys are awesome. I hope you stay. If y'all stay to the end, I hope y'all do a hashtag to the end. If you're here live right now, that'd be cool. Hey, hashtag live. I love those. And also, really important, and this would be super helpful for anybody else who's out there who would find this to be valuable. Make a comment in the section, in the comment section. What was your biggest insight from what I shared with you guys today? What did you get from this? It's not enough to just be watching here live and just like walking off. I want you to have gotten a nugget that you can share, that you can actually take on and put into this world, and maybe even share with somebody else. So, if you stay to the end, hashtag to the end. You guys are awesome. Peace and hair grease. Peace and hair grease. I'm doing this streaming live thing on on two different accounts, but it is all good.